have been wondering how power semiconductor market is working. Like when we consider the semiconductors, there's a many market, right? Some microcontrollers and many small uh, parts are contained in one big electronic devices, such as things. So I just wonder. Uh, so it's just connecting, it's loading. Just waiting for that. So until that, I'd say like I have, I just have to make some revenue, quick revenue, something like that. So I have thought, I know one great man who's doing a semiconductor power semiconductor, which is like a wafer.
Power
He
semiconductor
he
market.
starts from the wafer thing, and I hope from that the person who buying that have to do that with something like EDA tool to make that as a full device. Full device means part of the full part that is in device like a power connector. So um, I'm thinking like it's similar to how semiconductor manufacturing works. Like they buy the wafer and they pattern according to what they want, according to their own design, and they make the chip as a power semiconductor microcontroller. And that if they want to input that into the car or AV, I mean car AV for the same, okay, in AV or any other electronic devices. So power semiconductor market are deep dive. So working electricity power semiconductors are so imagine converting electrical energy with increasing efficiency. Yes. So the edge devices also coming in the multi-layer landscape. Okay, multi-layer. When they say multi-layer, I just wonder like in semiconductors, so they're making like a 3D structure. I think the NAND memory and other kind of memories, or just good that, and that's how it's going to be the like a feature of semiconductor. When we couldn't shrink much, we just want to expand like out like in a vertical way, like in a 3D structure, something like that. So probably that same kind of thing plays a role in this also. In this also, I think so. So let's see. There is great. Okay, whenever probably if you're going through like semiconductor, you will had MOSFETs a lot, metal oxide, semiconductor field effect transistors. I just went through oxides also. What is oxide and what does it mean, and how it goes, all that. So in the perplexity, I love so much about that is it just suggests you some questions, which is so cool because it just keep letting you to go inside and learn more things like that. Insulate gate bipolar transistors, IGBTs. That's kind of a new thing to me, but I think I have crossed this path. But still, diodes and transistors, they are fundamental building blocks of power electronic circuits. Power modules, these integrate and previously component into single package offering a high power intensity domain this space, but silicon carbide and gallium nitride are rapidly. Yeah, I said one person I know, he just approached me with this silicon carbide and gallium nitride. So I didn't ask any further questions because I doesn't know much about the power semiconductor market at that time. Now also I doesn't know much about this market, but I'm learning. Like if you see my online presence, I just go through every topics and like it's kind of connecting the dots, you can say like that. So I just wonder like a silicon carbide and gallium nitride, what other kind of use cases with that. Like I just go to materials like a standard model, you know that, right? So from just going to the basement and just trying to find out what these material do, what else this material do, like a cross intersection between industries. So how it goes, like a power integrator says this functions control the power integrated ICs. Yes, they can say on a single chip offering a compact and efficient solution for a wide range of application. Okay, by material this is crucial energies. Yeah, of course, whatever you take, the material decide a lot. So I was like those days, like a few years back, I was just seeing the SaaS and it's gaining a momentum, and people are just making most of the people are thinking like technology means it just have to be there another application startup. I'm saying just come out of that. There's much more to explore and to innovate. So do that. Plus, do that also. Like applications, we need a great application for material science and all. We need a AI for new material discoveries and what we can do with the materials that we have and how to find or discover new materials and those things. So silicon, for the case, silicon has been the dominant material due to its low cost and measurement. Yes, of course, silicon been a, like a. That's why we say this. I don't know. Probably, yeah. I think the Silicon Valley, Silicon Valley name is gained by something like from Intel's early or something like that. Got a more work there, something like that, right? So I'm not sure about that. I just forgot some part of history of Silicon Valley, but I'm a huge fan of Silicon Valley. I mean, actual place and the series also. So yeah, similar silicon carbide, wide bandwidth semiconductor SiC offers superior performance and high voltage temperature and switching frequency capable compared to silicon. This makes okay. Yeah, I said as I said, silicon carbide and gallium nitride is the next big thing. When it's come to the power semiconductors, I think the power converters, like converting the powers in a better way. This might be the consideration. I think some really demand of the automotive. Yeah. So I just wonder like how much people are going to buy power semiconductors and there's many companies in the other type of semiconductors other than computing. When you take the computing, there's a few players, right? Intel, AMD, Nvidia, and now new players. They are Cerebras Systems, which is doing like a one uh, full wafer GPU like AI inference. So they're doing much well than Nvidia, but we couldn't take down Nvidia because of CUDA. But it's still hardware matters most. Okay, so I think they just, I don't know, maybe in little years we can bring Nvidia down. I'm not that against Nvidia. Nvidia is a great company, and Jensen Huang is a great person and all. If he want to invest in my startup, I would be happy for that as well. I'm just saying that dominating or just one company dominating it is not the right thing and all. So automotive is the first. Yes, EV has something like a 3,000 or 3,500 something like a semiconductors in that. So semiconductors is playing a huge role um, in EV production. Tesla just relies so much on the EV, and they're making that. I think they had a recently they had a some they made a contract with Samsung to do something like a $15 billion something. That's a big huge contract. I think so. So I just wonder like I thought like a Tesla should make their own chips and all, right? They tried that with not Dodge. I'm just confused with because of Elon Musk. So it's uh, it's not Dodge. It's a Dojo computers. Like they try to make a semiconductor by their own designs, but they just dropped that out because of some extremely costly or something like that. They couldn't handle that, so they went back to doing the chip, outsourcing the chip, something like that again, going back. So I didn't expect that from Elon Musk. Like he doesn't give up easily on something like, but he did in semiconductors. I mean, yeah, semiconductor design. Yeah, I say like semiconductor market is same hard as rockets. So you just have to think about that again. Of course, consumer electronics, smartphones, laptops, home appliances, power, yeah, IoT and devices, kind of things like home appliances is just a big market, much more than we think. Like we think it's not like it doesn't get the flashlight like a red carpet thing, but there's a huge market for that also. Industrial, the broad category includes factory automation, motorized robotics, possibly industrial equipment like the night factory. They would say like night factory means like they doesn't need a light, something like that for the factory because of everything will become automation, which is so great, and I'm so excited about that. I mean, it's like you can have an argument like which is best, like is this the right thing to do, or about the people who lose the job, so we can create more jobs, something like that. AI has to play a big role in this, of course. So industrial motor drives robotics also play a huge role in this, and we couldn't forget that, right? So IT and telecommunication, data centers, 5G base stations. Wow, power semiconductor play a huge role in all of this. Just think about how many big industries this is. So data centers like a big thing in this age, AI age. So if you ask me, are we investing this much money into something like that? Is this worth it? Something like data centers and AI revelation, something like that. So I don't know about that. I mean, I'm pretty confused about that because I think AI, maybe in some other document I just talk about that. So energy and power, renewable energy is like solar, yeah, of course, solar and wind power. Also use a power semiconductors, so depends on power semiconductors for power conversion and grid integration. Plus, when they integrate like electronics and software, if they want to implement that into that, they need of course the power. So power semiconductors in aerospace, defense, these sectors utilize high reliability power semiconductors. Of course, when it comes to innovation, aerospace and defense play a huge role, right? So DARPA is something like that, right? I forgot the full form of DARPA, like a defense something. I have to search again. I have to say that again. Okay, this is a big thing, and I have to cover all this later. But just let's end this here, and we can go through how the process is going on and everything. I just want to have a small conversation with you. That's all.